And I don't know how many of you have seen the Jurassic Park, but the T-Rex at the end, it like grabs the Velociraptor and it just like it freaking throws it. Oh no. She's gone. What's up, toy fans? Kyle here today with a video review and the first Transformers video I think I've done in this many days or years or however long, in what feels like forever essentially, of Transformers Power of the Prime Slash. Now I didn't give up on Transformers entirely. I know Combiner Wars for me was a kind of a turnoff. And it wasn't really a turnoff until I had realized I had bought the same toy 12 times over. I had completed Menasor, I had completed Superion, and I had completed Defensor. And at that point, I was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of just buying the same thing over and over again. So for me, that kind of put a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth. I liked Combiners, and I loved that they went all out with it. And I'm hella into the Power of the Prime Combiners. But I just think at that time, it was just too much, too many coming at you at the same time. And kind of turned my back to Transformers and didn't finish any of the Combiner Wars, anything like that. In Titan's Return, I did kind of get into. I bought all, the 7 Headmasters, and I bought the Fort Max, but that was basically all I bought Transformers-wise for that year. But Power of the Primes, man, this line is doing it for me. This line is just getting me all tingly inside. And it's these Dinobots, man. These Dinobots are something else. So I figured we're going to start small. We're going to take a look at Slash. Now, if you don't know Slash, that's because Slash is the newest Dinobot character, and it was kind of introduced in Age of Extinction for what I'm assuming was because they couldn't get rights to another name. They're just like, hey, let's just make a new character altogether, in the form of this just monstrosity right there that I don't want to transform because I'm just too lazy right now. And when Power of the Primes came up, they're like, let's do Slash again, but let's do it, like, not crappy, and let's do it in the style of a G1 Dinobot. So with that said, I think it's safe to say that this right here is the definitive Slash toy. So it is a Velociraptor. It is a Legends class Velociraptor, so it is a little bit on the smaller scale. And I think the scale kind of works with the Velociraptor because if you know anything about Velociraptors, they're not the biggest dinosaurs out there. And I think that she scales really well with the other Dinobots. I think this is naturally how a Velociraptor would scale with these three. And I like it for that. I know a lot of people want a bigger, like a deluxe version. I'm sure there'll be a knockoff coming out soon. But I'm really okay with this scale. And you also notice I said she. That is because this is a female Dinobot. It is not the first female Dinobot, but it is the first female Dinobot to receive a toy, which is really cool. With that said, Velociraptor mode, it looks nice. I would say my only real complaint right here is with this little bit of a gappiness, but all you need to do is just turn it slightly to the side, and then that kind of disappears. For articulation, you can kind of wag its tail just like that. Its legs are on ball joints that move in and out, so you can get it to do sort of like a widespread sort of fierce stance. Its legs right here are just on these simple hinge joints, and the feet actually have no articulation whatsoever. The mouth can open and close, and the arms are on these little pivot joints right there. The little pivoting. And the arms are on these little pivoting clips right there. They can just move forward and back. And then you can lift the tail, but that's because of the transformation. You would be exposing a butt head. If you also wanted to, you can flip up this little backpack. You can take a Titan Master or a Prime Master. I don't have any Prime Masters yet, so we're going to use Brainstorm's little Titan Master right there. You can store it in the back. And hey, you can ride the Velociraptor. That's cute. I like that a lot. The transformation's pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to... And there is Slash in her robot mode. It's kind of a simple transformation. I dig this robot mode a lot. This toy, again, is just doing a lot for me. I really like the big, bulky, silvery shoulder pads. I think that's kind of a cool look to it, and I love that they're completely painted. That is sort of what sold me on this toy, to be honest with you, with these just gnarly shoulder pads. She looks like a freaking defensive lineman. And that's a football term for us nerds. Now, the biggest downfall is that she doesn't come with any weapons at all, but since it is a Legends class figure, I think it's kind of come to be expected, so what I do is I just give her Slug's sword. And she looks awesome with Slug's sword. I mean, look at that. That just makes the whole look right there. The red matching the chest. I love this. I love it a lot. And I will display it like this, to be honest. I just think this is fantastic. And then we're just going to look at her head sculpt. It doesn't exactly scream female, but I don't think it super duper has to. It looks right. I think that's the best way to say it. It looks right. For articulation, you can move her arms 360. They're just on ball joints, and they can also... Wait, we're going to let this focus. And we can move them out 90 degrees. Arms, again, simple hinge joint right there, so you can get about 90 degrees of movement. The hands, of course, are stuck. The legs are also on ball joints, so you can move them out. You can move them forward. The knees are on ball joints. The knees are on hinge joints, so again, you're going to get 90 degrees like that. And that's basically it. But it's good for a legend toy. You can just get it to do some pretty cool poses, especially with this sword right here. Robot mode, I think the only actual complaint is the kibble. It is a little bit kibbly, and the head doesn't perfectly store in Slash's back. It kind of sticks out a little bit, so you're just sort of resting that open backpack flap and the tail on top of it. There's no clicking down or nothing, but luckily for it, it doesn't stick out too bad, and it doesn't look too out of place, so it's easier to look past. Apart from that, that's pretty much it. I really like these Dinobots. I'm loving them. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video review. Stay tuned for more Transformers, Power Rangers, whatever, I don't know, whatever I want to review, I'll make a video about it. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. Yeah, you know, if I make a video, I'd really appreciate it if you watched it. How about that? Just watch my damn videos, people. And one thing I wanted to add to this that I forgot to film when I initially filmed this review is the power card. It's got nice artwork. And this version is Liege Maximo Slash, for all of you who care.